Hello and welcome to Opening Arguments. It is not Wednesday. Not even close.
No.
But it is Opening Arguments. I'm Thomas. That over there is real-life immigration attorney Matt Cameron. How you doing, Matt?
Well, I've just spent many, many hours reading Jeffrey Epstein's emails. So how do you think I'm doing?
God. Maybe a horror movie where it's going to take over.
It's a crime against English, if nothing else.
Yeah, what?
We'll get there.
Okay, yeah. And
So,
Lydia Smith, how you doing?
Hi, doing pretty well because I didn't have to read all of Jeffrey Epstein's emails, but I am going to be reading some of them today, so I'm not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to spending it with you guys.
So many ups and downs. That's a real roller coaster.
Yeah.
At the consolation of knowing I get to come and talk to you guys about it, which is always a pleasure. But got to say up front, this is about 22,000 pages. I didn't get to read them all. I really tried to spot as much as I could. I did some searches. We'll link to the database where you two can search for your favorite characters and see how they come out. I just want to hit some highlights and things that the media didn't hit quite so much. Got a lot to talk about, some legal thoughts too. I'm sure we're going to be revisiting this well, and this is probably it's been estimated maybe about 1 or 2% of everything that could be coming out. So,
oh my God.
Yep, we got many happy hours ahead of us.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Many of that is just screenshots of things like Virginia Giuffre's book.
Oh, okay.
It's just other things like that are publicly available now. But most of it is emails and texts, and it's pretty hard reading.
Yeah, like literally it's hard to read them. Any of it that I've read, I've been like, I don't even understand. This isn't words. What is happening?
That's been the story of our lives, like trying to read other people's emails and texts. They always like abbreviate the strangest things. They have the weirdest way of like using punctuation.
That was a weird thing to say. I hope people understand. You mean for the show?
For work. It's for work.
Yeah, like we mainly spend our time trying to read other people's stuff.
Yeah, the man who Alan Dershowitz described as brilliant and an absolute delight to talk to and argue with. When Jeffrey, Steve, and I are together, nobody finishes a sentence, Dershowitz says. We cut each other off all the time because we just get it. That's the person we're going to be reading emails from.
They finish each other's statutory rapes. Sandwiches. Sentences.
Matt the lawyer.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
All right. Well, we're going to dig into it. And like you said, so much, but we're going to hit what Matt's been able to get through without losing his mind so far. But first, we're going to take a little break. And once again, it's brought to us by, well, not the break. I always say that. It's like the opposite sales job. The show is brought to you by the very fine patrons on both sides of patreon.com/law. No, just the ones on the pledging side, I guess. Now that I think about it, it's mainly the one side. Want to do those patron shout outs? I know we weren't able to with Kat. That was kind of a very quick self-contained recording, but I'm going to get this up right away. I think I'm going to get this up as soon as possible. So we're getting an early, weird, off-schedule episode, but it's worth it. And that kind of work and podcast is brought to you by these amazing Hall of Fame tier patrons. I'm going to start with the first third of them, and then we'll do the others on the other breaks. So thank you to Veterinary for America 2028, One Man, One Vote, Unremarkable, Amina, Donna Treadaway, Mother of Heritons, Protect Trans Kids, Deep Space Nine was the best Star Trek, Mike Lipinski, Rats Live on No Evil Star. It's always the palindromes are so dumb.
Rats live on no evil star.
Keep them coming.
They don't live on any stars. And they're nice stars, evil stars. Cyanitis. Normalize bidirectional spooning. Such a good deal, Dad's one. Charlie Kelly, attorney at Bird Law. Fourth Circuit attorney reluctantly changing her font. Apprentice of Adventure, probably a real person. Nick Fish, unfrozen caveman lawyer. Deep in the bloops. David Souther, and A Negative Phenomenon. Thank you so much to that first third. I forgot last time I was going in reverse order. Okay, well, anyway, who cares? One way or the other, they're all awesome, and they're the reason the show goes. So if you'd like to join the ranks, patreon.com/law, and these amazing folks pledge at that $5 level and above for at least a month. So thank you so much. We'll take our first quick break, and then we'll get to it. Okay, Matt, where do we want to start here?
Well, let's talk about what these are, first of all.
Horrifying.
Yeah, they are horrifying. A couple days ago, House Democrats released 3 emails, all pretty awful, from Jeffrey Epstein. I think they were to Michael Wolff at the time, talking about things that Trump knew, making it pretty clear that Trump knew what was up with Jeffrey Epstein and what his deal was, specifically talking about how Trump had spent hours with Redacted, and we don't know who that was still. And Karen Leavitt, press secretary, got ahead of this very smartly by just coming out and saying it was Virginia Giuffre who had said publicly under oath, I believe, that she had, Trump had never been inappropriate with her. and that she had no contact with him. But we don't know for
Oh,
sure
like
that was Virginia Giudice.
misdirection kind
open
of thing
question.
she's trying to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but if it's redacted in an email, that'd be a pretty bold lie.
I mean, we never find out.
Who has the unredacted versions of these, I guess? Does Congress have it?
Well, I should tell you where they came from. Right. So this is from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. These were subpoenas issued by the House Oversight Committee. So what happened a couple of days later was the House Oversight Committee released, the Republicans decided to one-up the Democrats, which is very funny, actually. And instead of 3 emails, they released 20,000 pages. So I think this is kind of burying us in content. There is all kinds of stuff that I'd love to know more about what it is and why it exists. There's all kinds of stuff that we need more context for. There are plenty of text messages where the other person's name is redacted, so we don't know, but there's context, so we can guess. Whereas we're going to find out one of those people is Steve Bannon, who it turns out was talking to Jeffrey Epstein quite a lot more than we ever knew.
Interesting.
And had an open invitation to come to the island, as we'll find out anytime.
God, that's so gross.
There's a video of a dog playing with a plush toys of Bill and Hillary Clinton. No explanation, just 30 seconds of a dog playing with cute plush toys. Okay. I don't know what that's about.
Interesting.
Don't need to know, I guess. Not really relevant, but it's in there. But yeah, so I'm just going to do some drive-by here. And what I thought would be interesting, because I think if you've been following this story, and I know a lot of people have very closely, you've seen a lot of the same emails, a lot of the same references. We're going to hit a few of the highlights here that you've probably already heard, but we're mostly going to be talking about things that I think are so far have been under the radar in all of this. And obviously, it's very hard to have a radar because it's 20,000 pages. Right. So thanks to these recent database tools, you can actually search for individual names. So I'm starting off with an amuse-bouche. Amuse-douche, excuse me. I already forgot the name of the feature.
This is a whole main course of douche, though. This is
right.
100%.
But I got a little fun.
Oops, all douche.
Front one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's true. The worst kind. Yeah, that is actually we're fleshing out the Jeffrey Epstein extended universe here. We're finding out more about who he's actually, because all these people have tried to deny, most of them, that they had any kind of real contact.
Hey, now you see us. That's great. How's it going, everybody? That was my fault. I messed up, and but we didn't show anything that mattered besides us. And we some of us matter. 2/3.
We're looking pretty good.
And I'm not going to say which two, but it's not me. So sorry about that. That was some fun, awkward, not video for a while. But we didn't even show anything yet. We hadn't even shown an email yet. So I'm probably, rather than having to make Matt go through all that again, we're just that'll be audio. You know what? It's a multimedia thing. This is podcast and video, and that was just for the podcast listeners.
Yeah, when it's giving the YouTube listeners an idea of what it's like to experience the content in a strictly audio format, if they're interested in that. Yeah.
They've heard of audio. So but you did miss this fun title card for like a presentation that Matt's giving us. He's giving us like the Office PowerPoint slides.
Yeah.
And when we get to these emails, I'm going to be fighting it because we're going to be trying to zoom in on them, and the formatting's awful and all that. So Matt can talk about it. Lydia can read it. I'll be tinkering like furiously with OBS trying to get stuff zoomed in. So now that we're all caught up, get back to you, Matt.
Yes. Before we get going here, this release is from the House Oversight Committee. Let's take a look at our very first one, featuring our perennial favorite, the guy that we kicked off Rapid Response with, Alan Dershowitz, the one, the only.
The one and only.
We get to hear what Jeffrey Epstein
wickedly
thinks about
talented.
So this is in correspondence here. If you want to zoom in a little bit,
that's
you'll see.
Tiny.
Sender is redacted, but I believe it is. I'll get back to you in a minute who that is. But there's an interesting conversation between this person and Epstein, and you get to see, and he's doing an analysis for Epstein of what's going on with the Mueller investigation. He's very interested in it. Epstein is obsessed with Trump and with what's going on with the possibility, first of all, that Trump might be president, and then that Trump may no longer be president after things come out. He says multiple times that he's got things on him. Just to give you a little taste of Jeffrey Epstein's sparkling prose, we have there. If you want to try to take a look at that
spot, yeah. I can't. It's so hard to read fucking emails. Like I wish somebody put these all in order, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I in the right spot?
I'm starting with we're on the same team, correct?
We can do like half of this.
So what's JC? I keep seeing this jccvacation@gmail.com. What is it?
JEE.
Oh, sorry, JEE. Yeah.
He had 2 email addresses. This is one of them. The other one was JE something iTunes at Gmail. I don't know why.
iTunes at Gmail.
Yeah, like for his iTunes. This is so boomer. Also, I meant to mention a lot of these pages are just emails of news stories they're sending each other, like boomers.
Oh my gosh.
When you see, for example, that Trump is mentioned, as much as Epstein is, it's because they're sending each other so many Trump stories, not necessarily because they're talking about Trump. All right, so just a little taste. We don't have to read the whole thing, but just you can get a sense of how he writes.
I feel like I'm having a Struzak.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on the same team, Struzak. Testimony was that discussions with the lovers often include embellishments and not indicative of non-professionalism. Sorry, this means nothing. I believe he said nothing more than it referenced, quote, Andy's office. Paige says Andy was there.
No,
How
this
many
is
other
Andy
people
McCabe,
were there?
Of course. And Stroke and Page, remember the
Peter
obsession
Stroke.
with those FBI agents, right? Yeah.
Were Stroke and Page, period. Off in the corner talking to each other. Was McCabe on the phone? You know that taking emails alone is not meaningful. Isn't it a but much to say that prosecutors that have strong opinions, period, should be looked out with skepticism?
What the fuck is happening?
He's
They should have been arrested just for this. Just for, like, forget everything else.
As an
Just
English
for
major.
this.
Thank you.
It's not even, it's not butchering English. It's just butchering, like, keys. I don't even know. Like, there's no, like, it's just, it's unreadable. I'm so confused by this. I started reading these and I just have to ask you, Matt, pausing already, what the fuck is he on drugs? Is this all of them? Are they all like this?
I'm going to say right now, and this is my bias, that I think that everybody should have stuck with the BlackBerry. And I really think this is iPhones. That's what I think. I think it's because you're tapping on your stupid glass and you're not using keyboards.
There's no tactile feedback.
That's right. And he also clearly doesn't edit himself, which I think is super rude to not edit.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, Matt, that I appreciate that boomer opinion you have or Gen X opinion you have, but the iPhone is the most popular gadget in the earth. And I've never fucking seen anything like this before in my life. I've never seen an email like this, ever.
And CIS is the most popular show on TV. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm saying if it's that widely used and no one else does this. So there's some other explanation.
All of his emails are like this. And this is in response to like a memo, which looks actually like the kinds of memos I'm sending you guys sometimes, like very thorough, like running it down point by point analysis. And he gets this in response that looks like it was written by somebody.
If I were on the other end of one of these emails, I'd be like, sorry, what? Just every response would be like,
there's going to be one of those.
I do know about one of them that I think we're going to read. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, where did I?
Anyway, so let's go to the response.
Which inappropriate period did I leave off on? No, I don't think I let Lydia get through it.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know that we need to. I think we
get the point. That part of the Epstein part doesn't matter.
Had many neg Hillary opinions. Dash.
Just the extra periods. Yeah. All
is he on a typewriter sending a telegram? Is that what it is?
That would go better.
Stop.
Sure
He's like, better. Michael Cohen, stop. Michael Flynn, stop. Or not.
Okay. And then we get a response from Redacted. By the way, your friend Dershowitz is in hog heaven. He gets on every talk show on this issue. Then he writes a piece about his friends now hate him. And today the Times has a piece about him writing a piece about how his friends hate him. He might just be the Kim Kardashian of the legal scene.
Oh my God. I love it. So funny.
Oh my gosh. And now Kim Kardashian is the Kim Kardashian of the legal scene. Well,
she sure isn't.
But she's not. Yeah,
she's been trying to pass that bar for
she's finished
long
law
as I
school.
have.
Okay, she's finished law school. So yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't the story recently that she failed the bar?
She did
and,
fail
can't
again.
Pass it.
Yeah, I think her psychics told her she was going to pass it.
Psychics.
Yeah, and then there's like a video of her. There's a video of her calling them and yelling at them.
And as we're going to be discussing, pretty soon, she can't even play a lawyer on TV. But we'll get there.
Oh my God! Yeah, we will cover that.
So. This is Jeffrey Epstein talking about his own lawyer in the response here in the nicely put.
Yeah, nicely put. Period. Space. Exclamation. Period. Space.
How do you do that? Sorry.
Sounds like you suffer a similar bias. Smiley face.
And then this response.
Similar to what?
Being
in
mine,
hog heaven? I don't.
Not liking Dershowitz.
And then the response, one guy in the Times article on him got it about right, I think. Apart from the publicity hound bit, I think of him as a guy who cut and run in your case and looked out for himself. He never hesitates to respond to me by email, but when I read about something that came up in his deposition that I thought might help you and emailed him for a copy, radio silence. I guess these days he likes to make himself relevant. Oh well, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, I am sure, and I have many more of the latter.
It's very gracious. I think this is David Stern. I'll double check that in a minute. But so I really, that was very interesting what he says, though, about how he got the deal for himself. Remember this? He's talking about the sweetheart deal in which, interesting little note there, because Dershowitz would have been covered along with anybody else who might have possibly conspired Jeffrey Epstein to ever do any crimes.
Mm-hmm. And it really does. I mean, I guess if nothing else, this is proof that Epstein really did think he got screwed when he got the best deal any criminal could ever possibly get, which is incredible. It seems like that's a genuine belief he had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still doesn't like Dershowitz.
That's crazy.
This is a good one. So this guy, Al Seckel, really interesting figure. He's kind of an Epstein guy himself. Like not making any allegations about him. I think he's passed now, but he's just one of those guys who tries to connect all kinds of people. He claims that he had a party at the once that had Slash and Francis Crick, the discoverer of DNA, talking to who knows, in which Francis Crick found out about Guns N' Roses and asked if they planned to go professional, like in 1999 or something. That's a great story, and as the author pointed out, maybe too good, but So this is very funny. He paid Al Seckel a lot of money to try to do some reputation management, and it sounds like, and Al Seckel is not a tech guy, but knows a bunch of people and hackers. In another place, Al Seckel talks about how they hacked his Wikipedia. But so starting at the bottom with Epstein writing to Seckel, getting mad about the fee. This is a guy with so much money getting mad about.
I was never told never that there was a $10K fee per month. You initially said the project would take 20, then another 10, then another 10.
Okay, now go up to the top of this. This response from Seckel is very funny.
My initial estimate given to me by Pablo's was 25, and that was based solely on his quick look at the situation and not knowing what was really out there. In fact, as I have repeated many times, the job was far, far worse than originally expected. You have a dedicated group of people trying to undo and damage you, including now. They have started up in the last week full force again, as it is obvious that they can't fucks with your wiki page anymore, as we blocked that. The woman from the Daily Beast, we have programs that track this stuff. And so for the past few days, Mike has been having a cyber war with her minions who are actively trying to undo what we are doing, as she is trying to push her Daily Beast and other articles back up. So we have to go back and push them back down.
Now, remember, this is 2010. He took the plea in 2008. And then, a lot of people didn't know who he was. So he's really concerned about reputation management in 2010. But Al Seckel takes this job and realizes how much work he has to do here.
How much worse it is.
Or he's totally ripping him the fuck off.
He ripped off a lot of people. He's well known to have taken.
It's not that hard to stop a Wikipedia onslaught. Like, they do that themselves.
I mean, I do
2010 might be a little different.
The idea, though, that it was far, far worse than originally expected when I took on reputation management for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
To be fair, 2010, I don't know. I guess
there's a bit more. It's kind of funny.
Let's see. Then there was the issue of trying to create additionally on you a positive web presence with the science and org sites. I spend literally 4 months of nonstop work, creativity, and my own political capital to get you this so far, which saved you not only time, but countless dollars, and isn't something that can be readily bought. I had people working also for free. I gained access to information that standard SEO companies don't have. In addition, I wasted a lot of time talking to people who promised to help but end up providing nothing, and so I end up having to do it myself. What do I get in return? Constant backslapping to my head. We were trying to fix up your mess. I didn't create it. Just thought it would be something to help. This was never about trying to pull money out of you. And in fact, we have don't every what? And in fact, we don't.
That really broke my brain.
We have done everything possible to keep the cost down considerably. I must talk to you about the island thing ASAP. What? When can we do that? What?
Perfect ending.
Oh, like he wants to go?
Yeah, he was promised. Yep, on top of the fees.
You son of a bitch, I'm not ripping you off, you piece of shit. Anyway, I heard about Pedophile Island.
Does that offer still good?
Yeah.
Gross.
Room there?
So he gets a response.
So it wasn't like the island thing as in, I need to contain this bad
literally
stuff.
The physical island.
And here's the response from Epstein.
Oh my God.
Over the weekend,
we can talk about going to the island. And then he says, okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Your detractors are on a rampage against you this past week. Mike is trying to take care of it. No, there is no extra charge. It comes with the territory.
So he did reputation management for Jeffrey Epstein in exchange for $20,000 and the opportunity to go to Pedophile Island.
And access to his island. Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I still don't know. I wish we had a better picture of his finances because, like, we have the conspiracy theorist, like, Brett Weinstein bullshit about him, which I think is fake. But I don't know. Like, but also, are people who are allegedly, like, super wealthy, are they still really bent out of shape about $10,000? Like, is that what it's like to be that kind of piece of shit? Because doesn't he have like zillions of dollars?
Well, he called himself a billionaire, but I think it was like 500 million. When they finally looked at his estate. But I do think so. I have heard, I am not a very, very rich person, but I've heard like the reason, I mean, there's a lot of reasons people that wealthy become that wealthy, but they stay that wealthy because they don't like to spend money. Isn't Donald Trump similar? Like with all of his money and penny pinching?
My theory is that when you come across people like that, they already inherited wealth and they do that as a self-justification for like to tell themselves a story about why they have money, but really it's just that they inherited wealth. But then they're all stingy and like what they think a business person is like. But I don't know. I mean, it's painting with a broad brush. I guess some people are just cheap by nature and like because it's like I can't imagine. I don't know what the math is, but like if you do the math, is this us caring about like 25 cents? Like what, you know?
Well, I don't know. I think that like you probably want to be spending money on the things you want to be spending money on. And if it's something you don't want to spend money on, then you don't want to spend any money on it.
That's 5 fewer like children I can traffic. Yeah, you're right. Probably is that.
But at the same time, I mean, if you actually, because he sounds like he got some wealth. There's more, and we don't know if we're going to get into it, but there's more suckle back and forth. But if $25,000 for what he's doing for him, I'd be very happy to pay that if I were Jeffrey Epstein. If you could actually scrub a lot of this stuff, right? Because it's 2010. He's trying to keep the lid on everything. Obviously, it's going to get much worse for him. But let's go to the next one. Speaking of conspiracy theories, it's just a fun little bite here. So this is from Steve Bannon. Sending him a quick update. Like I said, there's a lot of boomery sending articles. So he sends him an update about Alex Acosta, who was obviously the prosecutor who gave him a sweetheart deal, who's now up for labor secretary. And there's a little concern. He's following the labor secretary thing very closely. Just a little note, though, the article itself is not of interest, but if you scroll up to Epstein's response when Bannon forwards him the Acosta update.
Yeah. Do you know Bill Barr, CIA?
Now, this was just before Barr was named by Trump as AG, so it's not like he's really, it's a little weird. Now,
why did he put CIA?
You know Bill Barr, CIA.
Why did he put CIA there?
Well, Bill Barr did work for the CIA for about 6 years at the same time. And I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to leave it here. But he worked for Bill Barr at the same time when his father hired Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Barr hired him to run to be a teacher, a math teacher at the school that he was at. And there's been some thought, and one of the things that's discussed in this story is about why he got
Epstein was hired to be a math teacher
by Donald Barr.
Wasn't he like a tutor? Oh no, a teacher. Yeah, I remember now.
And again, these are just I'm not trying to do the Charlie Kelly string board. I'm just telling you these are facts. And one of the things that's mentioned in this story, of course, is when Acosta famously said that this is above his pay grade and that Jeffrey Epstein belonged to intelligence. And so he's just kind of dropping to Steve Bannon that Bill Barr is CIA. So just interesting point of fact. Don't know what to do with this. Moving on.
Very interesting.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
I
we're
love
going to
this
get into.
Have to leave format.
Oh, Peggy Siegel. Yes.
Yeah, Peggy Siegel. Do you want me to kind of give you information about Peggy Siegel now?
Let's talk about Peggy Siegel.
I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do something else here. Can I? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. While you do that, I'm just going to give like some brief background, and then I might talk about her a little bit more after we read this email. But she is a media marketing entertainment publicist. Got her start actually in PR. Her first 2 clients were Billie Jean King and Liza Minnelli. She said Billie Jean King, quote, adored me, and Liza Minnelli, quote, hated me on sight. She's very, very well known for organizing and hosting private events for her various clients, and she's in charge of inviting the guests. As you can imagine where this might get interesting. She supposedly kept a list of 30,000 contacts, and she divided them by things like nationality, industry, academy members. She was tracking everything, and then she would put together like the guest list for a screening of an upcoming movie like Wolf on Wall Street.
Wolf on Wall Street?
Wolf of
Wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah, there's a wolf on Wall
Street, everybody. That's not about an actual.
It escaped from the Central Park Zoo.
Yeah, maybe there should be a movie of that. I'm not here to judge.
So she is now in her 70s. She's still alive. But she's very like pleased that she does not look her age at all. And when she had her 60th birthday party, this is just a fun fact. She had 167 guests there, and as part of like their favors, she included a pamphlet that it was called How to Look Like Me at 60, and she had 23 pages of the different professionals that she's worked with. So it included her gynecologist. She was giving them a shout out, and she like wrote little reviews. She said glamorous, attentive. Her podiatrist, quote, gives the best toe reductions in town. And her plastic surgeon gave me a new neck a year ago. So just like giving all your party attendees, it's just remarkable. And she counted David Koch as a close friend. I saw this old New York Times article that they did a profile on her. And they referred to him as a libertarian patron saint in 2016. I was like, that's all you're going to say about David Koch? Okay, cool, guys. From Peggy Siegel, July 1st. So what we don't see here is there is an email that we saw his writing in the first email. It was something like that.
Idea.
Yeah.
Peggy Siegel responds, if you rewrite your last email in better grammar, and so I have a better understanding, I can cut and paste and send it to Ariana Huffington from me.
From me.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Jeffrey Epstein... Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein responds, I think a great opportunity has arisen, just like the headlines of a hotel maid now proven to have lied in the Strauss-Kahn case. The girl who accused Prince Andrew can also easily be proven to be a liar. I think Buckingham Palace would love it. You should task someone to investigate the girl, Virginia Roberts, that has caused the Queen's son all this aggro.
Caused him this aggro.
I promise you she is a fraud. You and I will be able to go to Ascot for the rest of our lives. I know there is a public police report that no one has had the courage to publish as they do not want to be seen attacking a, quote, victim, but being falsely accused will be the new headline.
So this is the clearest you'll ever see Jeffrey Epstein write.
Yeah, so he can do it. Barely. Can do it, everybody.
It's still pretty disjointed, but...
I also like that Peggy's email said Ariana
Huffington, yeah.
It's like, fuck, that's one of those that you send off. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
After I was just like, can you type more clearly, please?
So they were friends actually for quite a while. The Hollywood Reporter did a piece on this, and they spoke with 3 former employees and reviewed like contemporaneous records, like screenshots that they were taking of, their Google chat that they were having while in the office. And one of the employees said, because people are like, she is too selfish to have enabled Jeffrey Epstein. Like, that's not something she would care about because all she cares about is Peggy. But one of the employees said, well, Peggy was his connection to the entertainment world. I mentioned she put together guest lists for screenings. She would bring people together. So one of those things was actually an event at his mansion in December 2010, which was a request of his. That day, he said, can you put a party together at my house, please? And she was like, when? And he said, for tonight. And she was like, okay. And it was with the former Prince Andrew. And she did not emphasize who was hosting. Again, this is, post the
Andrew,
first...
formerly known as Prince.
Yeah, exactly. And several of the guests said that the invitation was positioned as, do you want to have dinner with Prince Andrew? And it didn't disclose at Jeffrey Epstein's house. So you had people like Chelsea Handler was there, which just kind of random and weird. But that's what Peggy Siegel would do, is she would just kind of gather all of these different people to try and make interesting dinner parties, I guess. She told the New York Times that their relationship was not a paid one. I know it's kind of giving a little bit of like Ghislaine Maxwell vibes here, but she said that they had developed a rapport over the years, him often quizzing her about films and other topics. Quote, I was a kind of plugged-in girl around town who knew a lot of people, and I think that's what he wanted from me, a kind of social goings-on about New York. But she told the Hollywood Reporter when they were doing their piece that there was paid travel. And then Vanity Fair asked her about that and said, hey, you said that there was paid travel as reported in the Hollywood Reporter. She said, that's a mistake. I thought I did. And I went back to the accountant. I never did. But she said that statement with like her lawyers and her crisis management team. So she's gone back and forth about that. And then she was asked if she ever noticed young girls working in housekeeping, et cetera, around Epstein's house. And this quote just really was grinding my gears. I find this like really gross, and it's very like New York elite, I guess. But she said, you're not supposed to notice the staff. And it's
They're
just that
people.
entire vibe. Yeah, it just really, really bothered me when I read that. But they did trade favors. She insists that there's nothing financial, I guess, but they did trade favors. And then let's see. Some of her employees specifically said, hey, this relationship is actually like more connected than Peggy might have you believe. Sometimes they were asked to be on her calls, and like take notes and things like that, reviewing her emails. One ex-employee shared with the Hollywood Reporter screenshots of a chat with a colleague from July 2010, where the staffer overheard Siegel talking on the phone with Epstein, and they said, OMFG, Jeffrey Epstein. She's like, you're not dating anyone, right? And he's like, well, I am, but she's very young. And she's like, stop. And Peggy, you ask her, and she's like, I have no idea. I had no idea that these girls were, underage. You just don't think about it. And then again, you're not supposed to notice the help. So everybody that was being victimized here was just, in Peggy's like best case, invisible to her, which is just remarkable. And she is like a very woe is me kind of person about being involved with all of this. She compared it to the Holocaust. So
What?
Yeah. She said what's being done to her is, it feels like she's being put on a train and carried to a camp. And it's really insane. And then she has
being
since
trafficked.
Exactly. She did apologize for that. But still, it's something that she felt. She was blacklisted from Hollywood in a lot of ways. Netflix was one of her clients. So was FX. And
Sorry, what did she used to do? I think I missed the beginning of this because I was messing with technology.
She got her start in PR, but she transitioned she put together these really big, luxurious, exclusive events. And as I said, she had 30,000 contacts, people from the entertainment world, people from the business world,
that's
finance.
Impossible. That's too many.
It's so many. And then she would just, people would say like, oh, I'm too busy to attend. She would just hound you. It would be like producers and stuff. And she always wanted to bring in certain people. And each of those events, she was making 5 figures per event that she just organized. All she did was
for somebody wanted to have like a well-to-do party or something?
Yeah, it'd be like either someone who wanted to have a party like Jeffrey Epstein, or it would be related to the release of a film or a television show. A lot of times they'd be tied to the Oscar season. And so she just was, making a lot of money.
Many people live lives that I know.
I know.
Like, what is any of that?
Yeah.
I couldn't have told you that any of that existed.
Yeah.
I know,
like,
yeah.
I guess it makes sense, I guess, that somebody does that, but crazy.
Yeah.
I just want to point out
that
the date here, 2011, 3 years after he took the plea. This is very knowable. Like, you could know these things.
So her position was like, I knew that he served his time. And she's like, but in, a pre-Me Too world, it was that you messed up, you did your time, and then, we moved on kind of thing. Like that was her position. But then simultaneously she says, but like, I also didn't know the extent, and I didn't know, he promised me he was done with that life, that he had left it behind. And she's just full of excuses. And like I said, flip-flops on this paid travel situation. So what
would people have known? I forget. Remind me, like, what he, like the public record of what people, like, if somebody met him at this time, what would they have been able to find that he did?
Well, everybody knew that there were young girls hanging around his house.
No, I mean like a stranger,
in terms of
like the police report, whatever, the indictment, the whatever.
From my understanding, there were news articles about these activities potentially going back to 2006.
Very easy to find. Julie K. Brown was all over this at the time. And even like when he's paying Al Seckel, he's paying to get this stuff pushed down. He's talking to the Daily Beast reporter that's covering this thoroughly, right? So if you know how to use Google, which I assume she did, you can check this stuff out. And
there were things where she would be quoted in an article and then immediately, like before or after, would be, calling out, and here he is pictured with, so-and-so who's just 14 at the time of this picture. And so she was being quoted for these articles, and she knew the topic, and then she never went to actually go look at what they were, and it was right next to her quote in the article when she's as self-absorbed as she is. So I don't buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
But not for her, but for all this context.
Right.
What did he plead guilty to again? Or what would people have known on the record that, he might have done if they came across him at this time?
I think it was a secret. Like the actual official public record was a secret, but it's just well known. There's a lot of reporting on what he'd done. But I think you couldn't go to a Florida court.
You couldn't see what he did?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that was all sealed. Really? I could be wrong about that. I should probably double check.
Yeah, maybe until they did the investigation with Alex Acosta when that was called into question, and maybe that's when it.
That's when it all surfaced again.
Released,
2017, 2018. But but even worst case, I guess from her perspective, the charge had to do with prostitution and just very, very minor, minimal charges. But again, there's so much reporting and so much knowledge out there of what he was actually getting up to that you can't plead ignorance. But we should get on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should read some patrons or something.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
It's so awkward to do hold on. Now I've got a thing where I can, there we go. I can look at the next thing while I'm doing the old thing. I'm figuring out new technology each and every day. So let's thank our second third. This human trafficking brought to you by, this is not a good time. No, we're going to take a little break. But before we do, I want to shout out our amazing patrons at the Hall of Fame level. Once again, Antifa Las Vegas Local 666. You got to fight for your right to ex parte. Jay Sank, council member-elect Vehicular Manslaughter, not to be confused with New York Penal Code or something 125.12. Maybe I'm not sure if that was right.
Congrats.
That's great. So not to be confused with vehicular manslaughter, I think is what they're saying. Cavalry, please excuse my dear Aunt Tifa. Even a blind squirrel can find these chunks. Weird. This patron name is blinking. What happens if oh no. Thomas Freeman, Cajun Killer, Fraud Fishy Hates Everything. That one's so old, but I still love it every time.
Classic.
Chris Simpson, being told to support Gavin Newsom by Blue No Matter Who people who opposed Mom Donnie has me at my limit. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think that's really happening, but if it is, that would suck. Who is telling you to support Gavin Newsom? He's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
But I would agree with the sentiment though, because if anyone who didn't support Mom Donnie has no business telling anyone Blue No Matter Who. Gavelhead chucking away. E.T. Mark Schultz. Here we go. Thank you to Mark Schultz, and thank you to our amazing patrons. And we'll take a little break, and we'll be back with more horrific crimes against humanity. Okay, so
let's talk about Paul Krasner very fast. It's just a very quick little note here. That was kind of interesting.
I'm gonna go to this full view, and then I'm gonna go to that. Yeah, okay. I'll get it zoomed well.
We're not going to read this whole thing. I just wanted to point something out from the top here. So Paul Krasner was originally one of Ken Kesey's Merry Pranksters, one of the original hippies going way back, and he was a writer and satirist. I think we lost him a few years ago, and he was writing about Trump, and he was checking in with Epstein about something. It's just kind of a funny thing that he did here, where he fact-checked the allegation against Trump involving the 13-year-old with Epstein, which is really the worst place to fact-check it.
Wow.
So if you just want to read the Paul Krasner part up top.
So the publisher wants me to trim down 700 to 400 pages in the Best Of collection. Tisk tisk. Below will be the revised mini essay to serve as the final piece. Although I detest Trump, to be fair, I realized, thanks to you, that I had no evidence that he had raped a 13-year-old, though I did have evidence that as an adult, there was evidence that she made an accusation. Also, I added another sentence with a positive ending. Meanwhile, happy Earth Day.
Just kind of a weird little exchange here where he's
understand any of that.
Thanks to you, I found out he didn't actually rape a 13-year-old.
Well, he said I had no evidence that he raped a 13-year-old. What I have evidence of is there's evidence that she made an accusation.
And then withdrew it after death threats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is this
just a little
to be taken how do you take this email? What do you think? Because it almost seems like sarcastic.
It almost does, right? He is a kind of a sarcastic guy, but there's also.
But then what's the point of this email at all?
Right.
Yeah, it's an interesting little note that he's fact checking with Jeffrey Epstein. There's another Krasner thing I didn't throw in here, a very, very short thing in which Epstein writes, the allegation was not at a pedophile party. It was at my house with me, Jeffrey Epstein says. And then Krasner replies, to what wording would you suggest I change that? Which I thought was just kind of a funny thing. If not pedophile party, what would you like to call it? Yeah. When you have a bunch of, young girls
party
around.
At your house.
Well, I guess I hope that he's kind of being sarcastic with him. Then.
Yeah, I would too, but I don't know.
Yeah, because that language that you just read sounds like it.
Yeah.
Especially if his first thing was to describe it as a pedophile party. Is this the kind of thing where it's like the newspaper or whoever is making him like, yeah, you got to fact check this stuff, but he's having to do it with someone he hates? I hope that's what it was.
I think that might be it, but it's just an interesting, there's lots of these little interesting encounters with like people whose names I'd heard who never I would have thought would have crossed paths with Jeffrey Epstein. Like I would not put Paul Krasner and Jeffrey Epstein together.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Paul Krasner would have either. So to be fair. So we're going to talk about Larry Summers now, and there's some great Larry Summers material in here as you might have heard, former Treasury Secretary and Harvard president. But I wanted to, there's an Onion headline I wanted to send you that is just perfect. So Larry Summers, of course, not somebody we think about very often, but he was very close with Jeffrey Epstein, like much closer than he would like you to know. And his wife, we're going to find out. I think his wife actually sent the most disgusting email of any of the emails that we're going to read today. And we'll get to that one right after Larry Summers in its own way.
Here we go. Larry Summers was devastated.
It's worth reading the first couple of sentences of it because it's so well written.
Oh, well, those are things you got to tell me before I...
Oh, yeah.
Before you crop it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right. Maybe we'll link to it.
Yeah, it's basically just saying
responding to recent revelations suggesting the prominent economist was a close associate of the late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, a devastated nation reportedly joined together to wail, no, not Larry Summers on Thursday. Oh, please God, not Bill Clinton's Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, said visibly distraught Iowa resident Carrie Pritchard, who echoed the sentiment of all 340 million Americans upon seeing multiple emails that showed the former Harvard University president had regularly corresponded with Epstein. I feel so lost. Who am I supposed to turn to for insight on the role of regulation in the derivatives market now?
So there you go. That was good. Perfect response. Like the day that this came out, I love it. They're so sharp with this. So let's look at Larry Summers and the way that he talks to Jeffrey Epstein because it's pretty gross. Summers has gotten in all kinds of trouble over the years for the things he's said and done.
Yep. It's and one thing I saw that was I don't have ready, but a bleat where someone was like the fact that I forget the name, but the black female Harvard president had to step down, but Larry Summers never did. Like tells you all you need to know about our society, essentially.
Yeah, he essentially said that women just couldn't do STEM. Like that was one of his more controversial statements.
Oh, cool.
In like 2005. So yeah, let's see what Summers has to say here. This is interesting because they're talking about Trump, which is a pretty common theme here in the Epstein emails.
Yeah, let's see. So starting at the bottom, yes, in NYC, actually. There's a lot of things I have to skip here. It's like follow me on Twitter, etc. And then Epstein wrote, "You're man of the people," and a link to a story. President Barack Obama kiteboards horses around Richard Branson epic vacation is what it's the URL. Larry Summers responds, "It's okay. He didn't wreck world and avoided scandal. What does Rumler say regarding his attitude towards women?"
And this
Rumler,
is Kathy. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Kathy Rumler. We'll talk about her a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, just lost it. And then Epstein responds, Larry Summers. No, Epstein does respond. "Recall, I've told you, I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, not one decent cell in his body. So yes, dangerous."
Yeah.
When Jeffrey Epstein says that about you, I think maybe the world should notice that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's go on to the next. Summers. It gets worse with Summers, much worse. That was just sort of a regular.
But that's Jeffrey Epstein being like,
that was worth including.
Guy.
That was 2017. So now we're in 2019. Guy 3 seems to be in London for a weekend, which is why my visit cut short. I got mad, didn't send angry note after call, though. This is a ridiculous activity. That's from Larry Summers.
So Larry Summers, just to set this up, is seeking dating advice from Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, cool.
Larry Summers is still married while he's seeking this advice, just to give you some context.
Oh, cool.
Neat.
How was it communicated to you? Epstein writes. Summers responds, a long one.
Yeah.
We talked on phone, then, quote, "I can't talk later," Don't think I can talk tomorrow. I said, what are you up to? She said, quote, I'm busy. I said, awfully coy you are. And then I said, did you really rearrange the weekend we were going to be together because guy number 3 was coming? She said, no, his schedule changed after we changed our plans. I said, okay, I gotta go. Call me when you feel like it. Tone was not of good feeling. I don't want to be in a gift-giving competition while being the friend without benefits. Think time to just stay away for a while. If there's potential here, she will find way back, I guess. I think I'm too weak at this point. What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Prada thing by someone else is natural. By me seems desperate. Had good sense not to send off a note. She must be very confused or maybe wants to cut me off but wants professional connection a lot and so holds to it. I think life as standby in case she needs leverage against other guys sucks. But I get when I think about it. But I get mad when I think about it. Stay cool, maybe? I don't know. I'm having to
No
guess.
one can fucking type at all.
All these freaking old people.
The former president of Harvard, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all gross.
And then
every part
just
of that.
Teenage girls.
Do we
know who
we don't know. I'm just saying that they're like teenage girls, like talking about.
For all we know,
relationships,
this could be about a middle-aged
This
woman.
could be. But it appears that he's trying to buy this woman's, affections from the way this is written. So, but then Jeffrey Epstein's response about how she's smart, making you.
Yep. She's smart, making you pay for past errors. Ignore the daddy, I'm going to go out with the motorcycle guy. You reacted well. Annoyed shows caring. No whining showed strength. Okay.
I just want to read a quote from Jeff Hauser, the executive director of the Revolving Door Project, who put this perfectly. Larry Summers has an argument for being on the Mount Rushmore of people responsible for destroying America. Only insane people would seek out the counsel of a man who relies on Jeffrey Epstein for dating advice and Milton Friedman for economic inspiration. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Can we as a society make sure all of these people in this are never fucking listened to again?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah. That's part of why I wanted to do this, to make sure these names did not go
Keep them in their
unnoticed.
house. They're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Larry Summers, again, he's on Project 2029. He should not be trying to establish, better policies.
Oh, wow.
He already contributed to the 2008 financial crisis. He was responsible for Putin in several ways, caused crises throughout Mexico and East Asia just with his advice, and was not a very good president of Harvard. He left under bad terms. So, there you go.
And you just wonder, how do these people get these chances? How do they get these jobs? It's not meritocracy. I'll tell you that.
You be on Peggy Siegel's list and get connected that way. There's another one from Larry Summers, yeah?
Yeah, I almost have it here. This is I'm getting better at this,
Right, yeah.
I'm doing these transitions. Here we go.
We're going
Bam.
backwards, 2018. This is from Epstein to, Larry Summers down at the bottom here. Think no response for a while, probably appropriate. Just had lunch with Jamie D. Is Trump getting crazier as many of my pals think, or is it steady crazy?
Just want to note, Jamie D is probably Jamie Dimon from Bank of America. Or he was with a different...
Diamond?
Diamond, is it? Yeah, that's right. I want to say demon, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then steady
Epstein
crazy.
responds, yep, steady crazy, but now frightened. Yes, quiet. Let's see if the pace picks up or slows. She's already beginning to sound needy. Smiley face. Nice.
Just wanted to show the way they're mixing these subjects of they both know Donald Trump. I mean, certainly Epstein does personally. And they're also talking about these women.
Gross.
Yep. So now let's meet Larry Summers' wife.
Oh, wow.
It's
more Larry Summers.
We could probably skip more Larry Summers.
Okay,
the idea. I mean, it's just. Actually, wait. Yeah, there's something worth mentioning about.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. Set it up for us while I.
Yeah, actually, this is amazing. You have to read this one.
This is going back to 2017. This is going back up to 2017 again.
Larry Summers showing off his brilliance and why he was the president of Harvard. It's just incredible to put this stuff in writing.
Here we go. Where do I need to go to? See. Okay, the bottom there? Or
Sure. Was there, spoke well, spent time with SoftBank deputy Najib or some such PIF guy too, flying back. How is life among the lucrative and louche?
Yeah. Which is a perfect word for Jeffrey Epstein. That's pretty gross. And then anyone stand out? And then this response, though, is worth reading its entirety.
Epstein
at the time.
says, anyone stand out when we meet, I will endeavor to mesmerize you with stories of DC so wild.
Yeah. And then Larry Summers responds to that with this whole thing.
Okay, where does it start? I'll get it.
SoftBank.
Okay, here we go.
All right. SoftBank deputy guy I liked and seemed aware and honest. Son. Lots of slathering to Saudis. I yipped about inclusion.
Yipped.
I observed that half the IQ in world was possessed by women without mentioning they are more than 51% of population.
For fuck's sake.
Mnuchin plumbs new depths. War seems more likely than I used to think. DJT is world's luckiest guy in terms of opposition, economy, etc. Still think his world will collapse. I'm trying to figure out why American elite think if you murder your baby by beating and abandonment, it must be irrelevant to your admission to Harvard, but hit on a few women 10 years ago and can't work at a network or think tank. Do not repeat this insight, in all caps. What?
It's a well-known tactic. Be sure to put in caps, do not repeat this insight, and it can't be repeated. It certainly won't end up on YouTube. It's incredible, this insight about...
Who is he saying murdered their baby by being in abandonment?
I think my guess is this is racist, that he's talking about people that shouldn't have admitted to Harvard under his estimation. I don't know.
I just wonder if there's anybody
something specific.
Yeah, there probably was something he had in mind, but just hit on a few
women.
women
10 years ago. Yeah. Cool.
God, this guy sucks. Jesus Christ, this guy sucks.
But like I said, his wife might be in the running. So she's next.
Okay. Let's see.
So you say. We'll see if there's like 5 others by him first.
So his wife is a literature professor. Keep that in mind as we read this. She's sending him a letter. She's obviously sucking up to him because she's trying to get $500,000 out of him for some kind of poetry foundation, I think. But she's sending him a letter that she's going to send to Serena Williams and some other people to try to get them on a PBS poetry show. And she's acting like she needs Jeffrey Epstein to edit her letter, which I think is very funny. This guy is going to edit a Harvard literature professor's letter. So you can read it from the bottom.
Right,
from Lisa New.
One sec here.
Yeah, so she sends the initial draft, which I guess we don't see. Mm-hmm. And then he responds, needs edit. Start with, I'd like you to join Clinton... EYC, I think he means, etc. She says, Jeffrey, how's this? And then we don't see it. An attachment, perhaps. He responds, Serena, Bill Clinton, Shaq, and have...
Shake?
Yeah.
Shake.
Yeah, it's Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, yeah.
Check you. And have all on PBS. Read poetry for children. I would love to have you do the same. Blah, blah, blah. Do not say, come on my show. She responds, this poem about childbirth and is not for children. It's
funny.
It's for adults, and it raises awareness on the issues of discrimination against women athletes in sports and against women of color in childbirth. These are Serena's big issues now.
So she has a poem about childbirth because Serena's big issue. He's like, oh yeah, poetry for kids.
Yeah, and she's like, these are not appropriate for children. They're specifically about awareness for adults.
But it's the next one that really is for me. Is this what doesn't?
So he responds, sorry, that was meant as a filler. What is important is that she is joining the other's priority and not appearing on your show. I invite you to appear is DOA.
So this is just more sucking up. I meant the next email from Lisa. I just want to set up Lisa New, their correspondence. But this next one is really incredible.
the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The next slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you give me a little bit of phrasing? We don't need to know that.
Yeah, no. She's just asking, soliciting more advice from Jeffrey Epstein about how to write, which is incredible.
Very funny.
But now she's going to give him some literature advice. This is, I think, referencing a conversation that is offline. But just check this out.
Oh, the invitation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear Jeffrey, here is an invitation you can forward. Fingers crossed. I'm going upstairs to hunt for my copy of Lolita, or we'll get on my Kindle and reread on our way to Australia. I may have lent it to one of my kids. I would recommend reading My Antonia by Cather? Next time
Cather.
You're on
Cather.
You're on a long plane trip. The prose is gorgeous, and the book has, come to think of it, similar themes to Lolita in that it's about a man whose whole life is stamped forever by his impression of a young girl. Thank you for this help.
I just have to stop here for just a second. Again, as an English major, first of all, they were clearly talking about Lolita, and she understood in 2018. She knows who this guy is. Larry Summers has been friends with him a long time. She understands that he's very interested in literature about young girls. Lolita, of course, being the most famous book ever written about a pedophile, not in a flattering way. And she's like doing the Amazon thing of like, if you liked Lolita, you'll love it. And here's the really nutty part to me is I haven't read this in a very long time, but I did check it just to be sure. The protagonist of My Antonia, which is it's a frontier story. It's in Nebraska. He is younger than her. She is 14, but he meets her at 10. So it's an appropriate like childhood relationship, like friendship, right? And it's never supposed to be sexual. Yeah. But the idea that a man whose whole life is stamped forever by his impression of a young girl, true, that's correct. Yeah. But it's because they were friends when they were kids.
By his impression of a young girl when he was a young boy.
Yes, like not because he was 55.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, but the fact that she is actively soliciting money from this guy and then playing into the stuff that she knows that he likes, right? In the same way that like if she knew that he liked golf, it'd be like, hey, did you see that, whatever, that interview with the golf guy you like, right? But like, except it's Lolita and more books about girls. Like it's so gross. I really think this is about the grossest one. And there's some gross stuff in what we're reading here. Wow. But the fact that it's Larry Summers' wife, yeah. But, and then thank you for the help with Serena. I guess she did come on the show. I don't know, but yeah.
Huh.
Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, but it's okay. I'm so sorry about what happened with
don't know what that is.
Washington? What is that? I will keep the bootleg episode and hope to release someday. It's so good. And he was so kind to read the poem with me. And you were so kind to make it happen. Who was that?
Yeah, definitely. See, there's a lot of stuff that we're still waiting for context on. It's just
is that really... who WA is? Maybe like
I'm guessing. Maybe somebody who found out that Jeffrey Epstein arranged this. Who knows? I have no idea. But anyway, so weird. Just a little literature recommendation there. Wow. If you're into books about young girls. Yeah. All right. What's next?
Oh gosh, this guy. Former New York Times journalist.
Oh, this
Landon Thomas Jr.
Talk about this.
Yeah.
And I love it because I've heard the New York Times be critical of Michael Wolff, which you should obviously.
They should.
We've always known Michael Wolff was a dirtbag, but they didn't mention this. They didn't really mention Landon Thomas.
Well, the only thing they say is we let him go in 2019 because he broke, our code of ethics here. Oh, that's all you're going to say? That's it at New York Times?
Yeah, but do we know it was about this at all?
We don't know, but it's just shocking to me like that.
It's not that he supported trans medicine or something?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be.
It's just, I don't know, remarkable.
NPR
like you could take a stronger stance on this.
No, but I mean, New York Times, like themselves.
Yeah.
No, but NPR talked about his firing and about how he completely fell short on the Epstein story. Like he knew all this stuff. But so it's just worth reading a few things from Thomas just because he is really, the things that he was aware of.
Landon Thomas Jr., New York Times reporter. All right, where do we begin here?
You want me to start at the bottom, Matt?
No. So there's the famous quote about, so everybody's coming to me, just to summarize very quickly. Everybody's coming to me because they think I have juicy info because of the famous quote about how he likes beautiful women, many of them younger side, right? And people know that Landon Thomas has been in touch with Epstein over the years. And so Epstein's immediate response.
Would you like photos of Donald and, I'm guessing girls, in bikinis in my kitchen? And then Landon Thomas Jr. responds, yes.
Fair enough.
Why not? And then if you can make sense of this part, the top bit, I don't really know.
When we bet that Marla Maples was pregnant, I lost and sent him $10,000 of baby food. The Hawaiian tropic girls all have photos. He was the judge.
Nobody's.
That's, I think, what that says.
Yeah, that's the best you're going to get. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of evidence that Landon Thomas knew what Jeffrey Epstein was about and what Trump was about.
Yeah.
This is my favorite, though, the next one. The next slide. This is
let's see. So we're still in 2015 now. This is December.
This is a cartoon moment here.
Read the
BuzzFeed.
Oh.
The UzFeed.
Sorry, we're not in on the Riz and the Skibbity.
Read the feed. This is so impossible. Read the BuzzFeed regarding my airplane logs and Hawaiian Tropic contest. Have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door.
What a funny anecdote.
Yeah.
And it is a very comic cartoon moment, but like it really does, just, little slice of life there for
I
you.
hate everything.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
It's awful.
Pedophiles. They're just like us.
I walk into glass doors all the time. Not for that.
Man.
But, and then the next one where he talks about his, the girlfriend that he gave to Donald.
Oh,
the part about it, I am serious, man, for the good of the nation.
Okay. This is from Landon. I am serious, man, for the good of the nation. Why not try to get some of this out there? I would not do it myself, but would pass on to a political reporter.
And then
he sends an article? Yeah.
Yeah.
Selena Middlefart.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a name.
The queen of glamour.
She's a model.
And says, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 93 that after 2 years I gave to Donald.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But this idea that, Landon Thomas is like, yeah, for the good of the nation, maybe you should say something about all this.
Yeah.
And Landon Thomas continues to sit on it and doesn't pass it along to anybody, apparently.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. And then next we have...
Still more Landon.
Yeah. Just kind of passing on. We don't have to read all this, but basically just he's giving him a tip that said this guy, John Conway's going to write a book on you. Yeah, we can keep going. I think we're going to keep things moving.
All right.
We could skip the other Landon stuff. You get the idea. We should get on to number 18. Jed Rubenfeld. Got to talk about this. So,
yeah.
This is quite a thing.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to keep this very, very brief. There's so much here that I don't want to get sucked in like I did with Peggy. I will include a Slate article that Dahlia Lithwick wrote way back when, but very, very briefly, Jed Rubenfeld, legal scholar, professor at Yale Law. He had a named position, the Robert R. Slaughter Professor of Law from 2000 to 2020. Wikipedia does not mention at the top why that ended in 2020. They mention it later on, but basically he had an investigation that was so bad that he ended up being suspended for 2 years, was allowed to come back, and this is a problem with the Yale Law Women's Board. They have a whole report on it with the timeline of the investigation that happened, the allegations against Rubenfeld, and I'll link that as well. So from his telling, he made remarks and jokes in his 30-year teaching career that he now regretted. He denied he had ever sexually harassed anyone verbally or otherwise, that he never engaged in unwanted sexual touching or attempted kissing. He denied offering to drive a student home while Rubenfeld was drunk. Nice. Guardian, when they were looking into this, they asked him, had he engaged in a sexual relationship with any Yale students? He responded and denied he had ever had sex with his own students. Okay, that's not what they asked.
Not exactly.
That's not what, and he declined to comment further. So he is, the allegations range from sex with students to forcible kissing and groping, spanning decades, that there was a whisper network at the school, that people were just dealing with it because Rubenfeld had a lot of power. And the reason he had a lot of power is because he was well respected in the legal community, and his wife is Amy Chua, who is the person credited with popularizing Tiger Mom. And she
wrote the article defending
Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
She wrote the article for Kavanaugh a year before her daughter started clerking for Kavanaugh. So it was probably to get her daughter lined up with a clerkship. Yeah. She was on the committee for clerkships at Yale. So if you wanted a clerkship, you needed to keep her happy, kind of thing. And she was also the person in 2018. She told law students, it's not an accident that Kavanaugh's female law clerks all look like models. You need to look a certain way if you want to work for Kavanaugh, et cetera, et cetera. She was also J.D. Vance's mentor at Yale Law. She's in the acknowledgments for Hillbilly Elegy. She's responsible for connecting him to the publisher. That was her publisher.
Thanks, Amy.
Great work. She's been asked, what do you think about him now, kind of thing? And she basically says, I never turn my back against my students.
What a hero.
Yeah. And so these are the people that we're talking about right now, that Rubenfeld also apparently warned a student to avoid working for Alex Kaczynski and Brett Kavanaugh. Alex Kaczynski, we know is a problem. It's well publicized. So Eli Mistel, writing for Above the Law, asked the question, what do Rubenfeld and Chua know about Brett Kavanaugh at that time that puts him in that same category with Kaczynski of judges to avoid? And no answer there ever. So that's who we're talking about.
Rubenfeld warned somebody about them? Wow.
Reportedly. So yeah, I'll link to a couple things there so people can kind of take a look themselves. There's a whole lot there on Rubenfeld.
I don't think we should confirm this Kavanaugh guy.
Yeah. Seems like a mistake.
So let's get into, how he
so you go to the bottom
Epstein.
here. So notice who is making the first email here at the bottom.
Ken Starr.
So Ken Starr did represent Epstein at some point. Ken Starr appears in a number of these. So interesting introduction here.
Good morning. Jed teaches crim law at Yale, outspokenly strong on the need for procedural fairness in campus adjudicatory proceedings. Oh, yeah, I wonder why. Relevant to your friend's unhappy situation? If so, happy to make the connection. Hugs, Ken.
No, hugs.
Why does Ken sign off with hugs?
Yeah.
Hugs.
He's such a huggy guy.
Oh, that's cut off in this.
Oh, yeah, it is.
In the slide.
Yeah, but you're missing out. It does say hugs.
It says hugs? I thought you were making that up.
No, it literally says hugs.
It's my favorite part. So this is, again, Ken Starr introducing Jed Rubenfeld to Jeffrey Epstein. And Jeffrey Epstein responds, THX. And yeah. And then look at
Ken Starr, can you talk? Important.
And then look at this Epstein thing. I vote yes.
Okay, sure, but do we know who his friend is? Because I don't know if the dates line up, but that's not Lawrence Krauss, is it? I feel like Lawrence Krauss might have been after this. Well,
he had a lot of creepy friends.
I don't know.
Well, but if it's a campus thing, he's definitely friends with Lawrence Krauss. When was Lawrence Krauss's? Are you looking it up, hon? When was Lawrence Krauss's?
I can. Hang on.
I mean, I guess we wouldn't know for sure.
It might be because we met him at ReasonCon in 2017.
Oh, that was that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might be.
Oh, yeah. 2018. It was in 2018.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
That's got to be him.
This has
to be about Krauss.
Oh, my gosh.
So you're talking to Ken Starr about, or Ken Starr's recommending Jed Rubenfeld.
Who's about to be in his own investigation.
Oh, for tips on how to help Lawrence fucking Krauss.
Yeah.
Campus fairness. Yep.
God.
But then look at this disgusting thing that Epstein says here.
I vote yes.
Yeah.
I vote yes, as it makes you relevant to today rather than merely re-reciting an old tale, smiley face, or tale, T-A-I-L.
What is that about, though?
It's a sex joke. I don't care. It's gross.
They don't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like some kind of
can you
other
talk?
thing going
Yes.
on. There's some of the stuff is redacted more. I think than it should be, but So, but again, there's more Epstein brilliant prose here. It is not worth reading, but it's unlikely to give king-like powers to a president. Well, you're wrong about that. I would love like Wunsch Pale Joe to come away and think this guy is smart. I'd see anybody writes about the Clintons. I have no idea what he's talking about, but it's just nonsense. But I just thought that was an interesting introduction between creeps.
Geez, creep.
Yeah.
Hey, just connecting creeps here.
Yeah.
The Creep Network. It goes through Epstein. Epstein knows a lot of people, it turns out, and they all want to suck up to him in different ways.
For either money or access or underage girls
or
and
island
crimes.
visits. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a bunch of Wolf stuff. The Wolf stuff has come out pretty much. The Michael Wolff, as you were saying, Thomas, he's not really a journalist. He's pretty scuzzy. He's written 4 books about Trump. I've read 2 of them.
He's an opportunist. They
have a lot of good stuff in him. I mean, he's clearly around. You don't know how much of it is like totally true, but he's a great tabloid journalist. He's fun to read. But he was really buddies with Epstein and had lots of back and forth with him and was giving him tips and gave him like political advice on how to handle the Trump situation once it became to light, that Trump was going to run and that he was going to have this connection. We can kind of skip all this, though. It's not really.
Yeah, we are unfortunately out of time.
No, we didn't get to Steve Bannon.
Oh,
we didn't
man.
get to see. All right, we'll have to do another edition of this, I think. We barely probably got through half of your stuff, right?
Steve Bannon stuff is great.
Yeah. Well, we have to pick up our kids, though, and go further. I wish we could. Well, we'll call that for the first, I don't know, maybe the first half. And we'll say there's more to take on. But I mean, Matt, you've only just begun to work your way through this stuff, right?
There's so much more. It's, And
but already, I guess, finally, takeaways, like takes away, what I think the Larry Summers stuff is even grosser than I thought. This Jed Rubenfeld, that seems like it's so gross.
Guys, I told you the tip of the iceberg. Like it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, the Lawrence Krauss email is
I
still
don't
coming.
remember. When did that come out? Because I don't remember that Kavanaugh comment. Like, did that, when that thing you read,
yeah,
was that from...
so that article was, I'll have to find it, but yeah, it was above the law. It might have been 2019. Let me see.
But Lawrence Krauss, by the way, I'm pretty sure he's still, isn't he still at
2018.
Arizona? Isn't he still, did anything even happen to him?
I think he's still...
Something happened to him, but I feel like he's still
something happened to him. But in the same way that something happened to Jed Rubenfeld, right? Like he ended up getting suspended, and now he's just back exactly where he is. With, some things have been taken away from him. Some things have been voluntarily given up, Amy Chua will say, but who knows? Like, she's not on that committee anymore for clerkships.
Can we all never listen to these fucking people again? Please, dear God.
That's my takeaway.
Yeah. Including Trump.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Matt. I know tip of the iceberg. We'll keep going. I do need to shout out our last group of patrons, though. Most importantly, at the top, thank you so much to the Cincinnati Kid, Blah Blah Blah's Law Podcast, Philly Basement Bar's Busy Organizing, Elect Thomas Smith President, American Honky Tonk Bar Association, Paul Tikate, Philip Kaiser. Who was this Rorschach guy, and why did he draw so many pictures of my parents fighting? Corin Land, a string of unpronounceable characters. Malika Chandler, Milo Mead Song is fighting petty tyrants. RondaTheDork.com, hors d'oeuvres in the court before we report. Big Easy Blasphemy, Chris Waltrip, Fred Grothius, Classic Libtard, and Mitchell, who is our champion of champions, our top patron.
The best.
To the stars. Thank you so much, patrons, for making this happen, and for making the show happen. And, Matt, are you going to dive right back in? Are you going to take a break for sanity?
I'm going to take a walk and
good idea.
Get some air and not think about Jeffrey Epstein for a couple of hours.
Well, thanks so much for watching/listening, everyone. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Lydia. And we'll see you very soon.
All right.
All right.